You look like break hearts for
You got a romantic connection there with Andreina. Let me park that off there. So I was like, you know what? If I rattle KayKay a little bit, I can cause a bit of trouble in paradise because she seems quite happy with Chris. Do you get what I'm saying? That's what this place is about. Tactics. I'm a tactician.
With the duel, for me personally, it feels like production had the result that they wanted. So this is what they aimed for. They told the participants who to choose because it doesn't make sense. And for this man to open his top and bottom lip and say that my girl, Josh, take several seats. You're barely boyfriend and girlfriend, so take several seats. I'm not buying it. And I think Chris is the one who told him who to pick. I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to throw it in there. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you Tyreek, the tactician. Oh my God. You can't help but love Tyreek. You can't. Whether he's saying things that are a bit... you can't help but love him because he does it with a smile on his face and he never... Well, I can't say he never means to cause any harm because some of the things he says, I don't think he takes time to sort of digest them before he says them. But anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island Games, Season 2, Episode 2. Just a disclaimer, if you're a Lucinda fan, I'm sorry in advance, because personally, I don't have a soft spot for her, and I don't have the patience or the time. You have Ariana Maddox having left, and then already Lucinda's playing victim. Oh, why me? Why am I the one with the necklace? And it's like, if it wasn't you, it was going to be somebody else. I have a feeling production wanted to rattle her. That's why they put that on her. For her to play victim, I don't get why. I don't understand why she's playing victim. It's only day one. This is not your man. Anyway, Charlie then pulls Andrea for a chat. They go for a chat by the little dock. And so they're talking about their connection. Charlie's saying, I hope you're not upset that I stole you from your partner. And she says, you know, it's early days, so she's open to anything. She was happy he chose her. He said he's very competitive and he wants someone who's going to increase the chances of him winning. I think because of what happened during his season, he's going to look for someone who's going to increase the odds of him staying in the villa longer. This is more or less what he was saying. Turns out Charlie, although he's from the UK, he is of Greek descent and was able to speak in Spanish because the enunciations are sort of similar to Greek. So it was really nice to see them bond and sort of find out what they have in common. They really flirted. It was really cute to see them flirt. So there was a bit of flirting. I think there is sexual attraction there. She was happy he chose her. She said she's 50-50. She's not locked in with Josh. And personally, looking at her connections with Josh and with Charlie, I think Charlie's a better option. And I think Charlie will increase her odds of staying in the villa because his personality is more likable than Josh. Josh is coming across very grating and very irritating in my opinion. Celine and Meth went for a chat, and Celine revealed that I chose you because you weren't looking at me. You were avoiding eye contact. And it's like, why is he avoiding eye contact? I don't get this man. This is his second time, well, third time actually on Love Island, because he said he was on season 2 in his country and he won it, and then he came back as a bombshell in season 3. So the idea that he's now on his third cycle of Love Island and he's still behaving like he's an amateur, I don't get it. For him to say, I miss Lucinda, it's like, boy, you do not know Lucinda. You do not know the other side of Lucinda. Be careful what you wish for, because when she brings out her other sort of not so likable side, you're going to regret ignoring this girl. They then had a conversation whereby he was questioning, if I were not here, who else would you have picked? And she said, well, her top 3 were Isaiah, Chris, and Lucinda. He was taken aback by that. I don't think he expected her to say Lucinda. And so it's up to him to decide, is he going to continue to pine over Lucinda, or is he going to explore new connections? Otherwise, he's on the next boat out of Fiji. And Josh and Lucinda sitting and crying me a river. I don't get it. Josh is saying he's upset that he was the one who was chosen, but at the end of the day, he would have chosen him had he come into the villa. And it's like, people are very pompous. It's interesting that people are very pompous and full of themselves. You have the likes of Chris, you have the likes of Josh, and it's like, there is nothing about you that you should be so pompous about. It's one thing for someone like Tyreek, because Tyreek is like Marmite. You either like him or you don't. But for someone like Josh, who is just... and it gets on your nerves. I don't get it. Anyway, Lucinda is playing her violin. Oh, why me? It's not my day. I was last in the game, and then my partner's been chosen. And it's like, you really don't like that guy, Lucinda. So why are you crying that he's been stolen? After all, you're questioning your connection with him. So why are you saying my partner has been stolen? You are worried that you might be dumped. That's where your concern is. But I don't think you really are worried about the guy that you're in a couple with. For her to sort of say, I'm going to surprise people, it's like she was playing a damsel in distress. She was playing a victim, and now she's about to show herself, and everybody's going to, I hope they pick up on it, that she's just putting on a persona. She's not the damsel in distress that she's making them all try and believe. KayKay going up to soul ties with Chris, I don't get it. I personally don't think Chris likes KayKay. I think Chris has a type. I think Huda and Nicola, given the way he was speaking to Nicola, are his type. And I think the likes of Shirley and the likes of KayKay, he just, couples up with them because he knows that the viewers are going to go for black love. And this is why he's with KayKay. For her to have to beg about a kiss, I don't get it. I really don't, because they discussed kissing, the fact that they kissed in a challenge, but they needed to kiss outside of a challenge. And they also discussed other couples. And it's like, of all that nonsense, you're discussing strategy, you're discussing other couples, you're discussing kissing. KayKay should have picked up that this man is not attracted to her. He likes her because he knows she's loyal. She once left the show for somebody else, but I don't think romantically he does like her. I think this is why he chose her, because he doesn't want any distractions and he doesn't want anyone counting him down in bed. That's the impression that I get. Ty. For Ty to then go to Speakeasy with, Andreina, I don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't pronounce her name correctly. I do try my best. I really don't get it, because this girl, her problem is she's always going after physical affection and physical attraction. She did the same thing with Brian in her season. They were hot and heavy very fast, and then it fizzled out. And the same thing is going to happen with Ty. I don't see the need for her to be kissing him. I don't see the need for her to be making out with him in bed. But hey, that's just me. She should have taken her time, because Ty is not the one or the two to play with. He is going to make her cry a river. We are here to watch that. Anyway, they have this conversation whereby she's sort of saying to Ty, are you going to stick with me, or are you going to choose other girls if I continue to lose in challenges? And Ty said, well, you better not lose then. And it's like, make it make sense. How can she, looking as fit as she does, be struggling with these challenges? I don't get it. I really don't. Is it because of her size? I don't get it. So for Ty to say to her, I'm always going to be honest, that's one thing about him. He will always be honest. Whether you like it or you don't, he's going to tell you what it is, and it's going to be up to you to decipher. And if she was someone with ears to hear, she would have heard that she is on notice. If she continues to lose challenges, he's going to dump her. They did share a kiss. Good for them. The Islanders then get ready for bed, and you have these conversations going on. You have Andrea sort of telling KayKay that, oh, she really likes Charlie. She thinks there's a spark there, but she also likes, Josh, so she doesn't know which one she's going to go with. And I love that KayKay, out of all her delulu, was able to say to her, you need to sort of follow your heart. Don't just lock yourself down with one person and think that's the end of the road. Be open to getting to know other people. So it's up to her. If she plays the same game she played in her season, she is going home. She is going home. Josh is annoying. He's going to get on people's nerves and they're going to vote him out. He's already started with Tyreek, and now he's going for Charlie. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's the next person dumped out of the villa. Lucinda is crying a river in a corner because she feels like, oh, why me? Why me? And it's like, girl, sit down. On his part, Josh is speaking to Kendall and sort of saying, oh, I was having a good connection with Andrea. We shared a kiss. And it's like, it's not that deep. It really is not that deep. It's not like you two had SEX. And that kiss wasn't even passionate. So it takes several seats. And then to see Charlie having a conversation in the bathroom with Nicola doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't make sense. There was no need for him to tell her that she was his second pick. Nicola was excited because I think she didn't think any of the guys found her attractive. So she was excited that at least somebody else, although she was second pick, but they still liked her. And it's like, this man, I said it before, I'll say it again. Nicola is more his type. He's putting up with KayKay because she's loyal and she'll stick by him regardless of what goes on. He's already seen that, but I don't think, he's really romantically attracted to her. All the Islanders get ready for get in bed, And everyone outside of who was cuddling, Gabby and Kendall were cuddling, but Tyreek and Andreina, they were going to town. They were really going to town, and it's like, this girl is going to cry because she's already told Tyreek that she doesn't get jealous, and he's about to sort of test that theory to see whether she doesn't get jealous or whether she was just saying it just for, the fun of it. So in the morning, the islanders wake up, and as per Love Island tradition, you have the guys making breakfast for the girls while the girls are putting on their makeup. And so you have, Ty sort of joking around with Kendall in the kitchen saying he's a chef. I don't think so. I think in this season he had to prepare a meal for the girls and they really struggled with that. So I'm just side-eyeing him. Anyway, you have Meth. Meth is trying too hard, and Lucinda is going to humble him and is going to regret, turning away from Celine, someone who could have kept him in the villa, because she looks like she's very active and very agile. So she could have saved him if they were a team and they won, the challenges. But hey, to each their own, because he makes breakfast for Lucinda and he brings her a bowl of oatmeal, and then Lucinda says she doesn't like that and he tells her to try it. After she tries it, he then realizes that, oh, Celine is in the room, and he gives her the same bowl and tells her, do you want to try it? And it's like, seriously, if you wanted us both to try, why didn't you bring 2 separate spoons? You brought something for someone, they didn't like it, and then you thought, oh, by the way, you could have made her a coffee at least, even if you didn't want to be in a romantic couple. I think he's trying too hard, and sadly Lucinda's going to humble him. So you have the girls come out, you have Lucinda sitting down for a conversation with Andrea and Gabby, and they're sort of asking her, who else are you interested in? And she talks about Tyreek, and it's like, please take several seats. We know Tyreek is not interested in you, because if he was, he would have slid into your DMs. The fact that he hasn't slid into your DMs should be message enough to tell you that he's not interested. So please keep it stepping. We're not here, and we're not buying that nonsense or whatever you're trying to tell us. For her to start being tearful and, oh me, why me? Why am I vulnerable? Please take several seats. We're not here for that. Anyway, she receives a message that reads, Lucinda and Josh, as you are currently wearing the heartbreaker necklaces, you are single and vulnerable. Tonight you will each pick another islander to battle it out on the first duel of Love Island Games 2025. Oh, I don't know whether I'll be able to do it. And it's like, girl, we're not here for that. We are really not here for that. I don't get it, and I don't understand why she felt the need to try and play victim, because she had people all over the villa trying to console her for reasons best known to her. Chris and Josh having a conversation with Josh sort of saying it's between Ty and Charlie, and it's like, why? Why can't you duel the US guys? I hate it. If we're going to have a game like this, then let's get equal numbers, because it's not fair that every season we have the US outnumbering any other country, and then you expect people to continue to want to participate. His reason for going after Ty, I think, is because his ego is still bruised by the fact that Ty won over him. He still can't get it out of his head that Ty was crowned second and he was third. And it's like, boy, take several seats. I don't think you would have won that with Ty. I really don't. So he says his other competition is Charlie because he wants his girl back. And for Chris to be siding with him, I don't get it. I really don't. And I have a feeling that the reason why he ended up picking Charlie was because Chris put him up to it. Because of the face Chris made once he called out that he was picking Charlie. But then I might be just side-eyeing it. Andreina, I struggle with her name, I'm sorry, and Ty were having a conversation, and she's sort of questioning Ty, do you think they're going to call me? And it's like, girl, you're one of the weakest links in the villa. What do you think? You are on the chopping block. I don't think Ty can save you, because I don't think Ty would want to continue to be number last, because if he's going to be a menace, he needs to be a menace and be secure. So the idea that you are beside him and you're sort of an anchor dragging him down, I don't think he's going to continue to put up with your mess as much as he likes you. So you better be on the lookout for that. Meth then went and pulled Celine for a chat. And I love that she's sarcastically, because when he bought the breakfast, you had KayKay and Gabby take him out and say, yes, you brought breakfast for the girl you like. But the problem is, when the girl you like didn't like some part of the breakfast that you brought her, you then turned around and gave it to somebody else and sort of gave her the same spoon. This is the issue. And I think having digested it, he then came back and he pulled her for a chat. And she was like, do you want to make me breakfast? Because I'm hungry. I haven't eaten anything. And it's like, oh my God, the messiness. I didn't know that the French were that sarcastic. So they sat down and he gave some sort of half-hearted apology. Oh, I know I made breakfast because I really wanted to make breakfast for Lucinda, and I am not someone who likes to play between two people. And it's like, this man is putting his heart on the line for Lucinda. He needs to take notes from Nate and find out what happened to Nate during his season when Lucinda didn't get what she wanted. So I'm waiting for that bubble to burst, and then he's going to realize that she might be telling people that she's really not 100% into him, and he is putting all his eggs in her basket. So Josh pulling Andrea for a chat and asking, how do you feel about me pulling Charlie? How do you me dueling Charlie? What did he expect her to do? Did he expect her to take out the pom-poms and start doing a cheer routine for him? I didn't get it. I don't think he got the response that he wanted. I think he expected her to be all giddy and excited that, oh my God, you're battling for me. You want me back. And it's like, it's coming across a bit toxic. It's coming a bit territorial, in my opinion. I don't like the way he's presenting himself or the way he's sort of behaving towards other people. So kudos to Charlie for coming to pull her for a chat, because Charlie said, he pulled Andrea for a chat and he said, I have a feeling he's going to pick me. And how do you feel about that? And she is like, I'm split in between the two of you. I think at some point, Andrea is going to get the ick from Josh. If Charlie goes home, she's going to get the ick. If she stays with this man, she's going to stay with him because she's got no other option. But she's going to get the ick because I myself have already got the ick and I'm not in a couple with him. So I can only imagine how she feels, being beside that man and the way he's behaving towards everybody else and being territorial. Oh, my girl, my girl, my girl. So Lucinda and Josh go on the terrace. They're having a conversation. They're sort of sussing out who they want to pick. Lucinda saying if she goes with her heart, she'll pick Celine because Celine stole her guy. Or if she goes with her head, she'll pick Andreina because she, is the weaker link. It makes sense. It really makes sense. And it's really sad that given her size and the challenge that they had, you'd have had Andreina just, all she needed to do was just stand in one position firm and let Lucinda tire herself out by running around all over the place. Then once she's tired, but she wasn't strategic enough. Anyway, I digress. So they're having this conversation and Josh is sort of saying he's split. He doesn't know which one of the guys he's going to pick, but he's thinking of going after the guy who stole his girl. And it's like, that's not your girl. That's not your boy. That's not your girl at all. Ty, seeing this, realized that, they might be picking his girl because his girl was second from last. So he decided to take KayKay for a chat. I loved it. I think KayKay, if she wants to change her narrative, if she wants to give herself a bigger sort of fan base or a bigger story arc, she's better off coupling up with Ty and dealing with Ty's nonsense, because that will give her more eyes and will give her more recognition than being with Chris. Chris is boring, so I don't think she'll get anything out of that outside of people just liking her and then dragging Chris along because they need her in a couple. So they were having a conversation and she was telling Ty that, Chris is boring. She thinks everything is too easygoing. Ty, being Ty, the tactician. I'm going to call him Mr. Tactician from now. So he was flirting with her, trying to test the waters. You have Kendall sitting next to Chris and saying, have you seen KayKay? She's gone for a chat with Ty. And it's like, take several seats, Kendall. You're not the CNN of the villa. Sit down. Let the man cook. So for him to be flirting, you could see KayKay was excited and he said to her, do you want to sit next to me? And she just stood up like a little puppy and then she jumped and she sat next to him. And it's like, Ty, oh my God, Ty is just something else. So they sat there, they were busy chatting in his confessional. One thing about Tyreek is you're never going to sort of try and sort of analyze and sort of question what he's saying, or because he's going to spill out what he's saying and what he's doing. Because even Kay asked him, you look like a heartbreaker, you look like someone who breaks hearts for a living. And he said, no, I'm honest. And then in his confessional, he's saying, things are too slow. I saw this on Love Island UK and I'm seeing this again. Every time he's bored, he looks for something to entertain himself because he's got nowhere else to go. He's got no phone, he's got no internet. So he's going to look for entertainment in the villa by causing mayhem. And so here we go, here he is. KayKay seemed excited. She really seemed excited to be sitting with him. You then had the islanders just hanging around the villa. Lucinda went for a chat with Meth and she's sort of questioning, who are you going to pick? He really wanted her to pick his partner, because he wants to go back to Lucinda. And I think Lucinda is questionable on their connection and is trying to distance herself away from him because he's becoming too possessive and territorial, the same way Josh is doing it. But Josh is very toxic, whereas he's doing it in a sort of smothering way, if you get what I mean. So they're having this conversation. He's sort of asking, if you want me back, then you can choose Celine and you can have me back. And it's like, she's going to do what she's going to do, because at the end of the day, this is her own fate. So you can't tell her who to pick or who not to pick. KayKay and Celine are a friendship I didn't see coming, but I really love them. I love their sense of humor. I love how they get along. So they're having a conversation with Celine saying that if she's picked, because she started questioning KayKay, do you think she'll pick me? And she said, well, if I'm picked, that means that she gets her man back. But at the end of the day, my mom didn't bring a child out of her vajayjay to be beaten by somebody else. My mom, pushed me out of her vajayjay to it. And it's like, I love this. I love this. I love the characters in the villa at the moment. The only two people that are getting on my nerves is Josh. I didn't like his first impression that he made on me. And then Lucinda, sadly, she comes with baggage. I've seen her in Australia version, so I she's not my cup of tea. Chris, it is what it is, but everybody else, I don't mind them, even Kendall. So they're having this conversation and she's asking, what will I do? So you then have KayKay ask her, are you interested in exploring anybody else? And she said, yeah, I'm interested in Zayd. This is my draft pick. Okay, if Celine goes to Zay and then Nicola goes to Chris, because that's who Chris wants, we can then have KayKay go with Tyreek, because I want her with Tyreek, not because of romance, but because I want him to sort of revamp her. Give her the cojones to deal with relationships, because Tyreek's School of Excellence will train her that next time she'll not put up with anything from anybody else. So that's why I want her with Tyreek. Anyway, they're having this conversation. It was very chatty and flirty, and with Celine, and I really loved that conversation. Anyway, the islanders get ready for the night because it's time for the duel. Lucinda is sort of stressed about who she's going to battle. They all come out, they sit out. Ariana Maddox comes out, and then she then asks Lucinda and Josh who they want to pick. Lucinda decided to pick Andreina. She said, because I was number 6 and she was number 5, so my chances of winning are better with her than me picking someone. It would have made sense, because picking someone like Gabby is small but should have been scrappy. Even KayKay is small and scrappy, and I think Celine would have wiped the floor with Lucinda. So Lucinda was very strategic. With Josh, he said, this guy took my girl, and it's like, buddy, it's not your girl. It's not your girl. Take several seats. So he picked Charlie, and I think because they were doing this USA chant with Chris, I have a feeling Chris told him, you can never beat Tyrique, but you can definitely beat Charlie, and that will take away from the UK numbers, because he could have picked anybody else. But I guess I understand why they chose, Charlie. For him to say, I don't think Charlie's here for the right reasons. Charlie said he's there for the money, just like everybody else. So what other reasons do you think he's there for? I am questioning and side-eyeing Josh, because I think there's a lot more going on there. I don't want to use any labels for someone that I'm not 100% sure on, as you all know. Lucinda and Andreina went in first. First round, Lucinda wiped the floor with her. Second, and then you had sort of Ariana say to Ty, do you want to give her a pep talk? And they said, you can't seriously get 0 out of 5. You can't be serious. You have to do better. And so the next time round, Andreina tried her best, and she only managed to get 2 balls. The fact that she fell on the floor and didn't move didn't make sense to me. She is way bigger than Lucinda. I don't understand why she wasn't moving. It's either production told her, Lucinda, we want her to get the story arc, she needs to win, or she just, I don't know. I really don't know what she expected. I don't get it, and I don't understand, because she could have wiped the floor with Lucinda. She could have for Lucinda to drag her like a ragdoll doesn't make sense. It's like, girl, you need to go to the gym. You need to do a lot of leg day. You need to do a lot of lifts. She's got an amazing body, but she doesn't know how to use it. That's the opinion that I get. Anyway, at the end of the day, Lucinda won that battle, so the necklace was given to Andreina, and then you had Lucinda be told she's coupled up with Ty, and she said she hadn't thought about that side of it. All she had thought about was getting the necklace off her. Charlie is the tiniest guy in the villa, but he was scrappy. He gave Josh a run for his money. Josh was built, but Charlie is just, he looks like a model. His body is not like someone who spends all his time in the gym, but he was scrappy. He really was scrappy. Kudos to Charlie for effort. I have to give him A for effort. Yes, he didn't win, but you give him A for effort. Josh realized that Charlie, as much as he thought it was going to be a walk in the park, he had to sweat. The chant and the everybody was shocked, like, Josh said, take several seats. You're not at the Olympics. This is just Love Island Games. Don't be creepy. Don't be, icky. Anyway, Josh won, which now means that Charlie and Andreina are now the vulnerable two islanders. What do I think? It's sad. It's sad. I think Andreina is going to go home. I don't know about Charlie. They show us two new islanders. Can someone tell me, why is Justine back? Even Johnny, why is Johnny back? If Johnny's coming back, then let's give us Jess the pocket rocket from Australia. Let her come and wipe the floor with Johnny. That I would really love. I would really love her in the villa with Tyreek. They would run that mess. That would be amazing. I don't understand why these two people are back. It doesn't make any sense. Justine has been on Love Island Games. She's been on The Challenge. She's been on Perfect Match. What more does she want? What more does she want? Somebody needs to match her with her husband. She needs to go to Married at First Sight, and they marry her off to someone, and that's it. And she can't get divorced. That's my opinion. Anyway, I digress. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 1. Bye, guys.